when we try to confine God or the being of God or the concept of God within the limited parameters of our senses. When you're speaking to a child, they try to relate it to something that they already have in their whatever concept they have of the existing world. But this is something that even civilizations of the past have done it as well. You hear it through the Greeks and other ancient civilizations, because it's natural for a person to start thinking of God in a physical form. So it's something tangible, so we can relate to him in that sense. In this present era, great scholars, or who are considered great scholars, have pondered over this. Allama Iqbal, one of the scholars of the subcontinent, he poses this question to God, and he says that कभी ए हकीकत मुंतज़र नज़र आ लिबास मिजाज में कि हज़ारों सजदे तड़प रहे हैं मेरी जबीन नियाज में. He pleads to God and says that reveal to me in a worldly guise. He says there are 1,000 heartfelt prostrations that are seeking for this. Now, interestingly, Hazrat Nawab Mubarakah Begum Sahiba, Raziyallahu Ta'ala anha, the daughter of the promised Messiah alayhi salam, she gives such a beautiful response in the same manner. She says that in fact, God is not something that is a distant reality or something that the mind cannot conceive or comprehend, but rather God's glory, His attributes, His greatness is manifest around us. It's within our nature, it's in our heart, but it's also around us that we witness at all times. The opening lines of that couplet actually says, "Mujhe dekh talib-e muntazir, mujhe dekh shakl-e mijaz mein, jo khulus dil ki ramak bhi hai, tere iddae niyaz mein." She actually invites the seeker of God to perceive God through His expressions, in a metaphorical sense, through the manifestations of His attributes. And if you look through that lens, then you will see an abundance of signs, and you will witness God in all its glory. And she says, but if only you possess even an iota of sincerity. And then she goes on to say, and I'll quote, because it's so powerful, she says, "Tere dil mein mera zuhur hai, tera sar hi khud sar tur hai, teri aankh mein mera noor hai, mujhe kaun kehta hai tu dur hai, mujhe dekhta jo nahi to ye teri nazar ka kasoor hai." She says that within your own heart, Allah resides within that. And it's almost in reference to that verse of the Holy Quran when Allah Ta'ala asks the children of Adam, "Ya lastu bi rabbikum? Am I not your Lord?" And they respond by saying, "Qalu bala." That of course, that is inherent within nature, man's nature, it's embedded within his nature, the recognition of God, for he can also take on those attributes of Allah the Almighty. And she says that, and that spiritual divine light is found within the human eye, as long as he has the sincerity and he is able to perceive. And she says that if you cannot perceive me, then perhaps there is a fault that lies within your eyes. कि मुझे देख रिफ़्फ़त को में, मुझे देख पस्ती काह में, मुझे देख इज्ज़ फ़कीर में, मुझे देख शौकत शाह में, ना दिखाई दूँ तो ये फ़िक्र कर कहीं फ़र्क ना हो निगाह में. She says that look at me in the peak of the mountains, look at me in the depth of the valley, look at me in the might of the king and in the helplessness of a beggar. There's the hadith of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, where he says that sometimes God comes to a person, it's a hadith Qudsi, i.e. it's been related as if Allah the Almighty was saying that when someone questioned where God was in his lifetime, he says, do you not remember when I came to you as a beggar? So God sometimes manifests himself in various ways and forms. It's just whether we have the eye to perceive him, whether we have the comprehension of how God manifests himself and through which ways we can attain his nearness. Khilafat al-Masih al-Rabi rahimahullah was asked, what's the greatest proof of the existence of God? And he responded by saying that you yourself are the greatest proof. Because he said there's no discipline of science or any other field that can explain this phenomena. You're just made up of particles and molecules and you're just an organic being. But that idea of a conscious mind that is able to question, reflect, ponder, surely there is a higher purpose. And surely the higher purpose is to connect to a higher being. So that very inherent nature of us, within it the existence of God is embedded. And then every aspect of nature around us is glorifying Allah the Almighty because it's His manifestation. His manifestation is apparent in every aspect of that nature, just as Hazrat Nawab Mubarak Begum Sahiba so beautifully explained in these poetic couplets.